Hello and welcome to South Jersey in Focus. I'm your host, Veronica Dudo. Coming up on this week's episode, we look at the state of New Jersey's economy and discuss the 2024 summer outlook with an economist from Stockton University. Plus, with the warm weather here, an award-winning golf club in the tri-state region just completed major renovations to their brand new clubhouse. New Jersey's economy ranks 10th in size among states. In 2023, New Jersey was the most improved state for business, led by a strong economy and housing market. So, how are things running in 2024? For more, we're joined by Dr. Michael Busler, a professor of finance and the finance program chair at Stockton University. Thanks so much for joining.
Well, thanks for having me. As you know, it's my pleasure to be here.
So, first, how is the job market in New Jersey?
So the job market is still very strong as it is in most of the country. The unemployment rate remains below 4%, which is generally considered a full employment level. On the other side, businesses are continuing to have a problem with a labor shortage, particularly in some of the higher skilled professions. That's causing wages to go up and salaries to go up in order to attract more people. So they're having a little bit of problem getting labor as the unemployment rate remains low. The economy as a whole in the U.S. has slowed down in the first quarter of this year. We don't have all the numbers in for New Jersey yet, but it appears that New Jersey's economy is slowing down also. Many economists are predicting, although they have been for the last year or two saying this, many are predicting that a recession is possible sometime this year. If that happens, New Jersey will feel the same recession that the country feels. But so far, things are looking good. You know, we're only a few months into the new year, but so far, things are looking good. Inflation continues to be a problem. We thought we'd had that nationwide solved by the end of last year, and it appears that inflation is ticking up a bit, and that's happening in New Jersey too. Many average consumers that I talk to tell me that they're having a lot of trouble making ends meet, particularly in the grocery store and particularly in their housing expense, both if you go to buy a house or if you rent. Some of the housing expenses in New Jersey are a little bit higher than they are in most other states around the country. But so far, it hasn't really hurt the economy yet, although it may in the future.
Is New Jersey seeing a mass exodus similar to what the state of New York is seeing in terms of people looking to move on a personal basis and then also for their businesses?
Yeah, I wouldn't use the term mass necessarily, but New Jersey has seen a decline in population. And there are a lot of people who are just saying, look, New Jersey, as is the case in states like California, New York, Connecticut, the overall tax burden to live in the state is relatively high. I mean, you take a look, New Jersey has a fairly high sales tax. New Jersey has a fairly high state income tax, and New Jersey has very high property taxes. So, with much of the workforce becoming remote, a lot of people are questioning, do they have to live in New Jersey anymore? And many are leaving. Again, it's not a mass exodus, but many are leaving for states like Florida.
So, as you mentioned, still waiting to get some of the numbers in regarding the Garden State's economy and whether it's growing, staying the same, shrinking, but definitely an upside is heading into the summer season with New Jersey situated along the Atlantic Ocean on the East Coast. It's usually, a really popular time. What's the outlook heading into the 2024 summer season?
So most of the businesses I talk to, and I'm near Atlantic City, so I speak with a lot of casino executives and then small businesses down beach. Most are very optimistic for the coming season. They note that consumer spending continues to be very high, and they expect when the summer season comes, consumers will continue to spend here at the shore. There are two problems that they're worried about, that they were worried about last year and it's coming into this year. So what are they? One, they're having a very tough time getting people to work in the summer. The New Jersey's minimum wage is up to over $15 an hour now. Even at that, they can't attract workers. Most of the small business people I speak with tell me they have to offer wages of at least $16.50 to get workers to come and work in these part-time jobs. Some of them are telling me they're offering starting wages as high as $20 an hour. And a lot of these jobs are relatively low skilled or semi-skilled job, a ticket taker at an amusement park, etc. So the labor shortage is somewhat of a concern to them. This becomes particularly acute the last week or two of the summer because a lot of the college students go back to school, particularly the athletes go back to school in the middle of August, and businesses are scrambling to find enough workers. That's the first problem. The second problem is inflation. So they're having to pay more in wages. That's driving up their cost. The materials that they buy, particularly in the food industry, seems to be going up in price significantly also. Most tell me that there's a limit to how high they can raise their prices. And when people come down to the shore this year and they spend money, they'll note that things are higher price this year than they were last year. So small businesses in particular are worried that they won't be able to pass these cost increases on to the consumers, and as a result, they're a little worried about their profits being squeezed. But overall, we're looking for a very positive year at the Jersey Shore. Much of the business depends upon the weather, and if we get weather like last year, where I think we had 9 of the 11 weekends between the holidays as being nice, that helps revenue increase. If we get a lot of rain on the weekends, obviously that's going to hurt. But overall, most businesses are very optimistic about this coming season.
And as you mentioned, there are certainly a number of factors that impact that. Of course, stubborn inflation, it is still here. Is it possible that New Jersey could potentially really see an increase in terms of some tourists and vacationers? Because it's, we've heard through the casino, it's in the feeder market, it's in the East Coast, and really just have some people who were looking also for staycation. So that could potentially help where, because of inflation and because of some of the impacts from the economy, that maybe people aren't necessarily taking those big expensive trips. Is that potentially the case?
We do see a lot of that. Typically during recessionary periods, South Jersey resort revenue doesn't fall that much for just the reasons that you said. Instead of people taking relatively expensive vacations and have to fly somewhere, many of them are saying, hey, look, the Jersey Shore is within a few hour drive, and the prices are still reasonable there. One thing we're a little worried about is gasoline prices. I don't know if you bought gasoline recently, but you're probably paying about 25, 30 cents a gallon more than you were at the beginning of the year. Because of the tensions in the Middle East and the uncertainties associated with that, many are predicting the price of oil will continue to go up. And as that happens, the price of gasoline goes up. Where that hurts is a lot of what we call at the shore here, the day trippers, people that just come down for the day, spend the day on the beach, go up on the boardwalk at night, and then go home. High gas prices could negatively impact that. I have to take my hat off to the Hard Rock Casino here in Atlantic City, because when they purchased that and rebuilt it, they put in a gas station. So I imagine what they're offering is comp gasoline to some of their visitors, and I think that'll help them. But overall, the price of gas could be a major concern for the resorts.
So when we look at the state as a whole, kind of, what are some of the most popular industries that continue just to fuel the economy?
So pharmaceuticals are very big in New Jersey, and they continue to do um, very well. The financial sector is also very big, particularly up in North Jersey, closer to New York City, and that sector seems to do fairly well also. So some of the bigger industries, I think, are doing okay, and of course, recreation and travel and leisure is very important to Atlantic City also. And as I said, I think that's going to be it should be fairly strong this year. So I think if the U.S. economy slows down, and it has, I don't know if it's going to go into a recession, but that's possible. I think the New Jersey economy will fare better than the national economy. And that's been some of the trend in the past, and I think that will continue into the future.
Now, a lot is being made about a potential smoking ban for the Atlantic City casinos. As we were just discussing, there's so many different industries in New Jersey. It's long been stated that Northern Jersey is quite different from Southern New Jersey. But if that potentially went into effect, it would have an impact. What would you potentially see that might happen?
So this is a very difficult issue. You have to be sympathetic to the casino workers who have to breathe in all that secondhand smoke, and we know how dangerous that is. So they'd like to see smoking completely banned. So far, the casinos have responded by limiting smoking to certain areas of the casino. Still, the workers say that's not enough, and they're going to try to push this for a smoking ban. It will definitely not help the casinos in terms of business, but in terms of keeping their employees healthy, it's probably a pretty good idea.
Fantastic. And any final thoughts as the spring really has sprung and so many people are getting ready for the summer?
Yeah, so the final thoughts are I would just say to people, if you're looking for something to do in the summer and you live close to a resort town here at the Jersey Shore, I think you ought to visit it. There's a lot to do here. There's good food, and if you gamble, there's gambling, and if you don't, there's many other attractions. The South Jersey Shore is trying to be a family-oriented vacation spot. I think you'll see a lot of improvements and things that have changed from last year. So overall, I think the New Jersey economy is going to do better than what the U.S. economy is doing. I think the resort communities will do better too. And even if things slow down this year, I think New Jersey will still have a pretty good year.
Dr. Michael Busler, a professor of finance and the finance program chair at Stockton University. Thanks so much for your insights.
Thank you, Veronica. Always my pleasure. Look forward to doing it again.
For nearly 3 decades, the award-winning Harbor Pines Golf Club has been ranked the #1 choice for golfers in Atlantic County and the entire Jersey Shore, which includes the Philadelphia tri-state region. Now the popular golf club is preparing to welcome more guests thanks to newly completed major renovations to their clubhouse. For more, we're joined by Debbie Stevenson, the Director of Sales and Marketing at the Harbor Pines Golf Club. Hi, Debbie. Thanks so much for your time today.
Oh, good morning, Veronica. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So, for people who may not be familiar with the Harbor Pines Golf Club, can you tell us more about the property?
Absolutely. It's my favorite thing to talk about. We have just completed a major renovation. This was in conjunction with our 25th anniversary celebration last year. We expanded our clubhouse to include a new pro shop. A very popular restaurant opened last year called The Roost, so that is enjoyed by our golfers as well as the public in the area. And then the third part of our renovation project has just been completed, and the remainder of the clubhouse and our beautiful banquet and event space is now ready to welcome brides and events of all sizes.
So, businesses not only in New Jersey, but across the country and even really around the world, they're all trying to get back to that pre-pandemic output. And so this is a very busy time for weddings as well. What are you guys seeing in terms of some bookings?
It's funny. We're still talking about the pandemic and some of the things that are still happening because of that. One thing that the pandemic did do for the golf business is increase our business. So a lot more people during the pandemic, they needed to get out. They needed to, they were ready to get out and do some things. And so golf has really grown. We're doing very well in the golf portion, and just are ready to gear up for another very busy summer down here. Our location very close to the Jersey Shore point, so we do get a lot of visitors, and of course just the weather that comes along with the summer season. So for the weddings, the good news for weddings is that love will always prevail. And so of course people are still getting married. We have seen a bit of a dip in the wedding industry globally. Statistically, most couples wait till about 3 years into their courtship to get engaged. And because of the pandemic and the lack of social interaction during that time, we've seen what we call now an engagement gap. So while engagements have been down, less couples are getting married. The good news is that's on the uptick again, and Harbor Pines is going to be ready, and with our beautiful new facility to welcome all these newly engaged couples.
It has really been a stressful time for a lot of people in the wedding industry because, during the past couple of years, there were overbookings, cancellations, there needed to be rebookings. People just didn't seem to have a lot of dates available. There was stories, for wedding parties needing to travel to other venues. What is that like now in terms of, welcoming some weddings as well as other types of bookings?
So, yes, it has been a difficult few years for couples. The positive about that is that our industry, we kind of all came together and we made it happen the best we could to our ability. So if you had a 200-person wedding planned and it had to be 25 people, then we still made every couple special day, the best it could be during those times.
So whether people might be interested in weddings or just, booking other special occasions, what does the property entail?
Our event space is lovely. We have a very modern, open concept venue, and the beauty about it, there's an elegance, there's an intimacy about it. You get almost 360-degree views of our world-class golf course. So a lot of beautiful natural light, wonderful, outstanding views from our enclosed veranda that overlooks a beautiful lake. And then, of course, windows abound all around to, see the beauty of nature.
And heading into the busy spring and summer season, what is your outlook?
Our outlook is fantastic. We're all so excited here about the new clubhouse, about celebrating another solid year of, 26 years in business here. We've been serving the entire tri-state region for anything from golf tournaments to weddings, banquets. We do a lot with our nonprofit organizations here and fundraisers. So, Harbor Pines is the hidden gem of Atlantic County. We're here to serve and just excited to welcome everyone to our beautiful facility, our world-class golf course for another great year.
Now, we touched a little bit upon how the pandemic impacted the industry, but again, having been in business for 26 years now, what have you seen and really how has the industry evolved?
So again, we were experiencing a bit of that engagement gap there with couples getting engaged and getting married, but there's always cause for celebration. So whether they were celebrating a high school reunion, a birth of a child, showers, reunions. We're here. So our business is very diverse, and our room, again, can accommodate a multitude of different types of events. So, yeah, we're looking forward to getting bigger and better. With the expansion of our ballroom, we can also do some larger events. So my weddings now can easily accommodate well over 200. And as a matter of fact, at the end of this week, I do have a nice golf tournament coming in, as well as a mixer, and that's going to exceed 200 as well.
So, in addition to people who may be traveling for the first time or coming back year after year, what is the response from the local community?
The local community has been fantastic. They have really embraced all the changes that we've made here. Again, our restaurant, The Roost, very, very popular for the local community. So we have live entertainment, we have trivia nights, and we see not only our immediate community here at Harbor Pines, but as far out as people coming from the island out to visit us. We're very, very close to Ocean City, Atlantic City, Shore Point. So we get a lot of visitors that are maybe on their way to Cape May. They'll stop by here for a round or a bite to eat at the restaurant. And, the community has just been very supportive. Wonderful.
Debbie Stevenson, the Director of Sales and Marketing at Harbor Pines Golf Club. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you, Veronica. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching South Jersey in Focus. I'm your host, Veronica Dudo. We look forward to seeing you next time. Be sure to watch more on New Jersey at onnj.com.